Welcome to Movie Reviews. Today's report we're reviewing of the day is Ginny Miller. Welcome, Ginny. What movie have you saw? I have saw The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid. Alright then, Ginny. I'm going to ask you 10 questions about the movie. Are you ready? You know me. I'm always ready. Okay, what happens in the beginning of the movie? Here's how it began. The movie began when there was a ship of human people sailing above the surface, and there was a prince named Eric. Then underwater, a crab named Sebastian was doing a concert for Ariel's father, King Triton. All of Ariel's sisters were there, except for Ariel. She was off looking for rare treasure, and she is quite a curious mermaid. I see. Ariel is quite curious about things fall from above the surface. Anyway, what is a mermaid? I know. Tana and I learned it in Legendaries of the Seas. A mermaid is a mythical woman that is half human and half fish. They have a very special tail that can swim up and down. They are also an expert to do a jump from out of the surface and back on the water. Wow, that is quite a legend. What happens after that? Here's what has happened after when Ariel went up in the surface. After Ariel went up in the surface to save Prince Eric, King Triton destroyed everything in Ariel's grotto after breaking the rules, because humans kill mer people. That's when it happened to Ariel's mother. I can see that. What is a grotto? That's a perfect question. I know exactly what a grotto is. A grotto is a cave that is filled with lots of water everywhere. It gets kind of cozy in here, especially when it's a little bit cold. Sometimes people can find rare objects in the grotto. I would be very comfortable if I was in a grotto. Anyway, where does the movie take place? Here's where it took place underwater and above the surface. The movie takes place to Prince Eric's castle above the surface where there's a village. It also took place underwater to Atlantis where there are mermaids and mermen and sea creatures under the ocean. Wow, now we're swimming along with it. What did Ariel do on wanting to see Prince Eric? Here's what Ariel did. I know Ariel is my favorite character. Ariel went to see Ursula as the carrier to see about seeing Prince Eric. One thing that Ursula wanted Ariel to have was her voice, and she turned her into a human. Ariel losing her voice? That Ursula is a scary Cicalia. Anyway, what is a Cicalia? Wow, we sure are talking about mythology of the seas. Here's what it is. A Cicalia is a mythical person that is half human and half octopus or half squid. It can have more than one arm to carry almost everything. That is when it keeps wrapping stuff up. That is kind of funny. In the Legends of the Sea, what is the story of King Triton? Here is King Triton's story. The story of King Triton is the son of Poseidon and Amphitrite. He was the ruler of the Death Seas. He uses his staff to rule the seas, and that's the story of him. Wow, that is some legend. What happens in the end of the movie? Here's how the movie ended. The movie ended when Ariel got married with Prince Eric, and Ariel can be a human and mermaid wherever she wants, and that is when humans and mer people got along. Wow, that's a good ending. What was your favorite part of the movie? My favorite part of the movie is when Ariel defeated Ursula by destroying the Nautilus shell. That's a cool part. Thank you for reviewing your questions, Ginny. It was a pleasure to see a mermaid seeing a human above the surface at all times. You're welcome. I had a lot of fun answering your questions, and you can come back and watch The Little Mermaid anytime you want. Bye, everyone.